She hasn't said hello yet. We want to see if she's okay.
So I guess when Ernie logs back in, if we get the same sound, we're going to have him do something. I don't know what you want to do, Barbara. I'm not like.
Just tell him that he'll have to listen to the video.
Yeah, you're commander in chief. I don't want to tell him the bad news.
No. You just tell him that he's got to listen to the video.
Okay.
If there's something wrong with his system there.
I think he's got it blasting very loud for Carol, and it's coming back through his microphone back into the meeting.
I don't know, but we were echoing really badly.
Yeah, that's what happens. It gets regenerated that way through.
Okay. Hello, Gina. Oh, she didn't unmute. Okay, I guess we can get started.
Okay, guys. I don't know who's all here, but welcome to the fourth meeting of the year, April 2023. And I got a pretty good amount of stuff here. Some stuff you might even be interested in. Let's take a look. So as of this moment, you should be on iOS 16.4.1. That should be the version that's on your phone right now. And that has all the latest bug fixes and updates, and keep you out of trouble. These are very important to keep up to date, by the way, as I've mentioned in the past. Later this year, they're going to release iOS 17 with a bunch of new features. I won't go into all of them right now, but I'm sure they're doing a lot of setup for that. So you want to keep everything updated as much as you can so you're safe and secure. So any questions about iOS 16.4.1? Is anybody having any issues with the current version? All right. So I don't know if you guys have heard some of the latest news lines about the federal government getting into the digital currency racket. Have you guys heard about that? All right. So this month they announced that they're going to start issuing from the Federal Reserve these digital currency, and what it is, it's just like a physical dollar bill or 20, and they're going to have them in accounts serialized, and they're going to start doing transactions out of the Federal Reserve using digital versions of dollars, right along with regular dollars, physical dollars. Those aren't going away, so don't be alarmed. They're just heading that direction, and they're going to phase it in over time. Ultimately, way down the road, we're probably going to be looking at maybe citizenry doing things with the Federal Reserve, having accounts there instead of banks, but that's a long ways away. And that's called Fed Now, if you want to look it up. And to look it up, they're going to use something called central bank digital currencies. CBDC is what it's called. You can look that up too. There's a big thing on it. And we're not the first country to start doing that. It's been happening around the world too. So anyway, that's kind of the digital stuff that's going on. Last on my news items list is this whole thing about AI. I'm sure you guys have heard about that in the news. I don't know if that's if you're been scared by the news or what you've heard. Has anybody heard anything, by the way, about AI? What's going on? Oh, good. So you'll hear it from me. So AI.
I was talking on 60 Minutes. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, AI. Yes.
It's on
Now,
YouTube if somebody missed it.
Right. So AI stands for artificial intelligence, and it's a technology that's been around, for decades. They've been using this term for decades. But now they're getting to the point where computers are doing a lot more and a lot faster. So I have my opinions about that. I'll reserve those. But I don't think you have to worry about AI, the doomsday prophecies. A computer is not interested in your money. It's really not interested in anything. It's just a piece of silicon. So they ascribe intelligence and all this kind of stuff to computers, but that's not really true. But we are advancing, and they are being better automated, and they're doing much better things that they've always done, much faster, better, more efficiently. that is happening. So don't worry about this AI thing. The only thing you got to be worried about out there are the same bad guys that you've always been worried about that are trying to take your money out of your account or stuff like that. They'll just use AI as an excuse. Anyway, that's my take on that. Don't be scared about the AI. The sky is falling, people. It's not really like that. Okay. Any questions about AI or anything I've talked about in the news? All right. So my first guy is show and tell. And guess who bought a phone this last month? Me.
Yay!
Yeah. So people like Maggie and Nancy, and there's a few others. They have phones that could do stuff that I couldn't teach. So I had to get with the program and lay down some cash to get this phone. So I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max with cruise control and chrome wheels. And it's a real good phone, really nice. It works really well. Apple has a great, if you're interested in getting a phone for any reason, Apple's got a very good 24 months, no interest kind of thing going on, where you end up paying about $40 for a guy like this for 24 months, no interest. So you just pay it off in 24 months instead of one lump sum. So that's kind of nice. I recommend that because these phones are really good and fast, and they have great optics. And if you look at the back of this thing, it's got great optics. And you probably ask yourself, well, what am I going to do with great optics? Take better pictures, wide angle, telephoto and stuff. The answer is no. The reason you want great optics is because you're using the phone to read things for you, your environment and things around you, and you're using LiDAR to do distancing and look at doors. So you want the best eyes on the phone that you can possibly get. That's the reason you want a phone with this kind of cameras on it, so it can be more effective for you. In fact, these cameras are so good along with LiDAR, I can't tell the difference when I'm using it as a hand magnifier versus like an Eschenbach dedicated magnifier. I mean, they're that stable and they're that solid, and they don't lose focus or anything. It's just really amazing optics. So
the LiDAR is super. The
yes,
LiDAR is a tremendous help.
Mm-hmm. And what it does, you know, I've explained LiDAR before, but what it does, it just gives you another tool in your arsenal. If you have just a single lens on your phone, all you have is just one view of the world, and you can't look further away, or you can't look in a wider angle. You know, especially when your software is trying to identify things around you. If it gets more in view and you're moving the phone, you can see more at one time, and it can give you a better description of what's going on. And of course, with LiDAR, like Maggie said, you can distance things, like something in front of you. If you have the camera pointed where you're going to walk, it'll tell you it's there, and it'll tell you how far away it is. So that way you don't trip over it. And it does all kinds of other detections and whatnot. So if you're on the fence about getting a nice phone, you should definitely consider the higher end phones for that reason only. And again, if you don't use the LiDAR stuff, or you don't use your camera to recognize your world, well, then you just get any phone you want. You know, a good iPhone will still work just as well, but these optics will give you an extra boost in recognizing your environment. So, of course, go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry. You said
Yeah.
40 a month for how many months? 24 months?
Well, that was the price of it minus my trade-in. So what Apple does is this
I
thing
know.
costs, this thing I think ran for $1,100. This Pro Max guy, okay, and then they gave me $150 for my iPhone 10R, which I paid about $700 for when I first started teaching these classes. So it's been about almost 7 years. So I paid about $100 a year on that phone. And I've earned way more than that with that phone, and it's been well worth it. But I think it's nice that Apple will give you an Apple card with 0 interest on their flagship product. I mean, they want to sell you the products. I mean, it's good for them too, but at least they don't charge you interest. That's what's kind of nice. So you just spread it out over 24 months. course, if you
They
don't have a
just charge
trade-in,
you too much.
yeah, that's true. I mean, well, the thing about phones, and I won't go long on this because I know you guys want to get bored with all my little talks about stuff. There's a thing in industry called planned obsolescence. That goes for cars, refrigerators, phones, you name it. See, and these guys, what they want to do is they want to keep you as a customer. They're not going to sell you your final phone, right? That will never need updates hardware wise or never need to be replaced. They want you back. So Apple charges you a good price for a high quality phone, but they know in 6 or 7 years, if you're still really into the whole ecosystem and using the phone like we always do, you're going to buy another one. And that's what sustains these companies, Now on the Android side, the planned obsolescence, unfortunately, is about 2 years, maybe 3, because that's when they stop getting updates. For the iPhone, you could go 7, 8 years, even more, depending on the model of phone you have, before you can't update it anymore. So it's better, but it's not good. And I hear you, Nancy. I feel your pain. Trust me.
I got a 12 Pro Max. And I
Mhm.
just wondered, is there a balloon payment after the 24 months?
No, what they did with me, just so the math works, once I traded in my phone, and I didn't max this thing out as far as memory and stuff, so it didn't go into the stratosphere above what it was. I ended up financing about $950 or something like in that neighborhood.
Mhm.
So when you take the 40 times 24, it turns out to exactly be that amount that I
Right.
that I first
Well,
purchased.
I've got a Pro Max, a 12 Pro Max. And to me, is it worth it to upgrade to a 14?
I don't think so. Not in your case. You have a good enough phone. You have basically what I have. Mine has a newer chip in it, but you have all the good optics and LiDAR and everything. I wouldn't do it unless you really want to, of course.
No, I don't want to. I'm sick of
Yeah.
debt.
And anybody has any questions, if they don't want it on a public forum kind of thing, just talk to me privately and I can recommend the best phone for you. I wouldn't say that the iPhone 14 or 12 Pro guys are for everybody, but people like Maggie, Nancy, me, and others, we might find good use with those phones, and others may not. So it's not a one shoe fits all proposition. And if you're not using the extra features, there's no sense buying it, of course. So. And what I did on my phone too, if you do go this route, the thing you want to get is a good case. This case that I have here, for those of you who can see, has a little round circle on it and a little line underneath it. Okay, that's the back of the phone. That's the MagSafe communications port. And what it is, it's a round circle and they're magnets. And I have a charger guide here. Let me just find it. Hang on. Oh, it's in my lap. Here it is. Oh, here's the charger. It's about the size of a 50-cent piece versus the big ones that we're used to. It's real thin too. So what you do is you put this on the back of the phone where that circle is. And it looks like this. And it sticks to it. And when you're ready, you can just pull it right off and it charges really well. And the thing about this MagSafe charger over regular chargers is that it puts twice as much power through the phone safely. So you charge your battery in half the time. So if it takes you like 2 hours now to charge your phone to 100%, with MagSafe, and this is only available on the 12 Pros and up, okay, not on the SEs, you could then charge it in an hour. And I've seen it charge in half the time than what it used to charge, the time it would take to charge. But it's really good. So a good case from Apple, and it's very important that the case matches the phone, because when you buy a phone like this, or even the SEs, you want to be sure that the case exactly matches the model of your phone, because there are multiple microphones located on the phone to pick up your voice. And if your case is obstructing one of those microphones, well, Siri may not work, or you may not be able to talk to your phone and dictate properly, because it's using multiple microphones when it's doing this kind of stuff. So I had a student who bought a case that he thought was the right one, turned out to be the wrong one. And when I took the case off, it worked perfectly. We found out that that case wasn't the exact one for that exact model iPhone. If anybody has any questions about purchasing cases at any time, call me, I will help you. I'll get the right links for the right phone and you'll never have to worry. And this is just an Apple case that I bought with it. I went ahead and just bought it and bought the MagSafe charger. So that's my show and tell. Anybody have any questions about the 14 or anything else?
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
I had a cheap screen protector that I bought at Best Buy. It wasn't the Dollar Tree, it was Best Buy. And it was okay, but it was getting crummy. So I was in the Apple store and they have a special device to put your screen protector, to install your screen protector.
Mhm.
And it really does a perfect job.
Yes.
And even though it's more expensive to buy the screen protector from them, it's quite a good deal.
And that's a good point, Nancy. You know, along with the case thing, you don't want to buy $1,000 phone, let's say, or even a $400 phone, and save $15 on a screen protector that's lousy. You want to be sure you protect your investment. So you know you want to make sure it's going to be around for a couple of years, you know, or until its life ends. So yes, Nancy, that's a very good point. So
Penny
Any-
wise, pound foolish. When I got a new charger, the
Mhm.
newfangled chargers charge much more quickly, and
Mhm.
they're very expensive at, they're not $20 at
Right.
the Apple store. But boy, does it charge quickly.
You
And
probably
it does have a
Mag-
wire.
That's right. You probably have a MagSafe charger. That's what I was just showing right now. And what
Well,
it
they
does.
didn't, I don't know what I got. I just knew it
We-
was better, so I got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So that's good. That's good that you got all that. And everybody who's listening, you should always look at it that way. If you're going to get something, you don't want to spend the most money that you can spend, but you want
No.
to make sure that you spend the money that works with the quality product that you got. You don't want to put a cheap cover for something on an expensive phone that may fail or may not absorb shock when it's dropped. Anyway, that's kind of, and what you should never do, since we're on this subject, and I won't go long on this. In my opinion, you should never, ever, ever buy phones through your phone carrier. And the reason I say that is because it's convenient. Yes, that's the one thing that's good about it. But when you lease it through them, you got to pay a monthly fee that usually you don't ever get back as far as ownership or anything like that. And you got to pay insurance on top of that. And then, so you'd be paying more for your phone than you would through an Apple financing kind of thing. And then you wouldn't own the phone at the end if it's like a lease kind of thing. So some of them do it like a thing where you own it at the end. But I've hardly ever seen the math that works well for that. So if anybody has any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer them here or offline to keep you from getting taken by these guys, because they're kind of sharks sometimes and you got to be careful with them. So, okay, that was a little longer than I wanted to go, but I'm glad we did. So let's see, what's next on our list? Okay, how many of you guys use the reminders app to remind you of things? You guys use it at all?
I do,
All right.
Maggie.
I
use it all
do.
the time.
Okay. Well, I've shown reminders before, but I haven't shown one aspect of reminders. And these are called location-based reminders. So what you can do, let's say you want to be reminded when you're at a location. Let's say that you're, I don't know, you're taking some kind of bus transportation, and you want to be reminded when you get to a certain intersection. And this would be a good use for something like this. So
yeah.
you can program that into reminders. You can create a reminder and you could call it get off the bus here. Okay. And I'm going to go through this right now. I'm just going through it generally. You create that and then you store the current location where you're at. So when you get to that location again, a reminder will pop up and say, get off the bus here, if you named it that. And it's kind of handy. So you don't have to remember where you're at sometimes. Like if you're not sure if you're at a place where you're supposed to be, and you want to be reminded when you're there if you can't see around you. So I thought that would be a nice one to show off. I can't really demonstrate it today, but I can show you how to set it up so you guys can play with it when you're out, because I'm here at the house. I'm not going to go outside the house, across the street and come back in and show you the reminder. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the reminders app and show you how to do that. Okay, so let me go in here.
Unknown notification. Uber Eats. 41 minutes ago. Uber Eats.
So, hey Siri. Open reminders.
Remote toolbar. New reminder.
Let me make sure this is loud enough.
Schedule. 0 reminders. Button.
So we want to do,
Double tap to
we're just going to create a simple reminder, not through Siri, but just on the screen here. So I'm going to do that now. There should be something at the bottom here.
toolbar. Add list.
No,
Button.
that's not it.
New reminder. Button.
New reminder, bottom left of the screen. Okay, so I hit that.
New reminder. Title. Text title. Text field. Is editing.
So you heard that right?
Character mode.
Title.
Insertion point at start.
Okay, and then I'm going to put in get off the bus. Okay,
Dictate. Button.
get off the bus.
Inserted get off the bus.
It's kind of a funny title. Okay, so keep going. Let's see.
Suggested list. Grocery. List back. Notes. Text field.
Notes is a catch-all thing in your reminders. You can just put whatever is not in the rest of it. You say, I'd like to get on the bus before. I don't know what I would say. It's just text. So we won't put any note in there. It just doesn't matter what you say there.
Details. Button.
So we keep going.
List. Quick bar. Data. List. Details.
I think it's under details. Let me just be sure.
Details. Date. Off.
All right.
Collapse.
So details is where the secret sauce is. Okay. So if you want to be reminded on a certain date, then you can check that date button and put in date. But since we're going to do it by location, we're going to skip over all this date stuff. So I'm going to do that.
Time. Off.
I'm swiping to the right, by the way, with one finger. So there's a time as well.
Tags. Button.
Tags, you can create tags so you can group these. You can give it a name like Barbara, and then you can create a bunch of these and give them that same Barbara tag so you can group them. That's just a grouping mechanism.
Location.
Location.
Collapse.
So location
Double tap
off,
to
oops,
expand.
collapse. So I'm gonna open that up.
Location. More option. Current location.
So
Button.
what you would do is the first time that you want to set this up, the best thing to do is be at the place that you want to be reminded at. So you get off the bus the first time and you create this reminder and you put in the current location and then you save it. And then what'll happen is that every time that you get to that location, this thing will remind you, hey, you're at, get off the bus. That's what it's going to say on the message. So that's what's good about location-based reminders. It can remind you based on where you are, not just a list or when or a date and time. So I think this is a really cool feature for somebody you want to try it out. And it's called location-based reminders, and it's in the Reminders app. And that's all I had for that. Any questions about location-based reminders? All right, tough crowd tonight. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, my next guy on
Easy
my
voice
list.
recorder.
So the control center, I've been having problems with my iPhone SE, which I'm going to grab. Where is my iPhone SE? Hang on a second. But here's my second
7:07
phone,
PM.
my iPhone SE. And I have the hardest time bringing up the control center. You know, let's say I'm on a plane and I have my iPhone SE with me. And let's say I want to bring up the control center to turn airplane mode on or do something, one of those, whatever it is. If I try to swipe up and bring it up, it has a hard time coming up or it doesn't work. And I don't know why that is. But what I've done is I've gone to the back tap option and I've assigned the double back tap to bring up the control center. So I'm going to turn it around towards you for those people who are looking at the screen. And I'm going to double tap the back and see if it comes up. Did it come up?
Screen dim.
Oops, no.
Reminders.
Let me try it here.
Tap to control
There it
center.
is, control
Airplane
center.
mode. Switch button. On.
So the control center is a great thing to be able to access when you need to tweak little bits of your phone, like airplane mode, Wi-Fi, boom, boom, boom. And the back tap, if you remember, is going to be under the accessibility section here. So we're going to go into settings. Let me just find that for you now.
Camera. Page 2 of 3. Weather. Settings.
Settings. So
Settings.
instead of going through all of it, I'm just going to search for it.
Search.
I know it's an
Search
accessibility.
Search field. Search field. Search field. Is editing. Search. Cat B. A. C. K. Search results. Backup. Apple ID right touch. Background app refresh. Touch. Accessibility right arrow touch.
Back tap. Just go T.
T. A. P. Search results. Backup. Apple ID right arrow iCloud.
Or is it 2 words? I'm sorry.
P. A. T. Space. Back. Search results. Skip forward / back. Skip back. Books.
All right, let me go to, it's not finding it here for some reason.
Cancel. Button.
It
Settings.
always does that when I'm in front of you guys. Let me see here.
Get ready for your new iPhone. Rows 4 to 13. Sounds and haptic. Focus. Screen to general. Control. Display. Phones. Accessibility. Button. Vision. Heading. Audio. Rows 8 to 19. Live captions. Subtitles and audio / visual. Rows 14 to 2. Web settings. Button. Accessibility. Siri. Guided access. Live caption. Subtitle. Audio / RTT. Sound with hearing devices. Hearing. Keyboard. Apple T. Control. Home button. Voice control. Switch control. Touch. Button.
I think it's under touch.
Assisted touch. Haptic touch. Touch a comment. If you have trouble, you shake to undo. Back tap.
Okay.
Button.
Accessibility, touch, and then back tap. And then you, of course, you can program whether a 2 tap on the back does something and 3 taps on the back does something. And I programmed the 2. If I go into back tap, you'll see it there.
Back tap. Double tap. Control center. Button.
Double tap is control center. And I don't think I've got, what do I got?
Triple tap. None.
Nothing on the triple tap. So that's how you can get the control center up quickly without having to do these fancy gestures. So that's how I solved the problem on my little iPhone SE. Any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Barbara here. I wanted to mention a couple of things. You have to tap harder on the back of your screen. It's
That's
not
right.
as sensitive as the front. That's the first thing I learned. And the second thing, on that back tap, you don't turn your phone around. You hold the phone the normal way and then you tap on the back.
That's right.
Screen tip.
And you're right about that. The back tapping has to go through usually a case and in the back of the phone before the sensor feels it. So you're going to have to give it a nice solid tap. And it doesn't matter if you get your fingernail in there on this one. It doesn't care about that because it's not the screen. But you just have to give it a good solid whack on the back, like like that, where you can almost hear it. And it's not going to hurt the phone. The phone is real tough. So just so you know that.
7:12 p.m.
Thank you, Barbara, for that. Any questions on back tap or control center, airplane mode, all that good stuff? All right, we're going to go to the next thing then. Let's see. Oh, so with this brand new version of iOS, they have a thing that helps clear up call quality, and it's called voice isolation. Okay. Now, voice isolation is a technology they're already using in FaceTime. Okay, but what they've done is they've added this technology to phone calls. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I get that going on my phone? So Apple, in its infinite wisdom, decided to put that into the control center, which is why I showed you how to bring up your control center. So you have to be in a call. You can't do it before, can't do it after. You got to be engaged in a call, okay? and you bring up Control Center. And then there's this thing called mic mode, MIC mode at the very top. And you're going to tap on that. And what that'll do is that'll drop a list. And if you haven't selected anything before, you're going to have 3 options. The current one should be standard, which means it doesn't do any kind of processing on your voice. Okay. Second one is going to be voice isolation, which is going to clean up your voice for the person you're talking to. And then the other one, I think, is the opposite, where it takes in more of the sound around you. So you want to go to voice isolation. And what that'll do is that will allow you to, that will allow your voice to be clearer to the person you're talking to. So if the person you're talking to has it on as well, you might notice a much clearer call between the two of you talking. So I have it on my phone and I noticed a difference there. It does work well. So I would definitely turn that on. So remember, be in a call, tell the person you're talking to, wait a second, bring up the Control Center, find that mic mode thing, and then switch it to voice isolation. Once you do that, it'll be persistent. It'll stay on voice isolation until you go in at another time and take it off. But I doubt if you'll do that. So that's kind of a nice thing for anybody, and especially hearing impaired folks to be able to hear a clearer voice through a regular phone call. So any questions about voice isolation? All right, I'm going to keep going then. Let's see here. What's next? Oh, so I wanted to talk about another thing that's important, the software update options, okay? And my recommendations for where you should have your phone set. So let's go to that area of settings, which is going to be settings, and then general, and then software updates. So I'm going to go over there and do that. Hang on.
Home, calendar, Tuesday, April.
Can you guys hear my phone okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Settings,
All right.
search feed,
So we're in settings. I'm going to go down to general.
Wi-Fi, bloopers, sound, focus, screen, general, button,
General.
about, button, software up,
Software update.
automatic updates, general,
All right. So the screen is going to look something like this for you visual folks. Okay. And to describe it, you're going to have some stuff on top, like a back button.
software up, iOS 16.4.1,
Okay. And that's the current one I'm on. But there's this important button at the very top, and it's called automatic updates.
automatic update,
Okay.
on, button,
I'm gonna give you the recommended settings that'll keep you safe, okay? Because you definitely want to have automatic updates come down. But I'm gonna give you a caveat with that. I'm gonna explain it right now. So I'm going to it.
automatic updates,
I'm gonna press on the button.
button, download iOS updates,
So download iOS updates is exactly what it means. It means when an update is available, Apple will allow you to download the update to your phone. That doesn't mean it's going to install it. That just means it's going to bring it down and get it ready. Okay. So the next setting after that.
install iOS updates, on,
Okay. You want to turn that.
chat to toggle setting,
You want to turn that on, and I'm gonna have it explain what that means because it does it better than me. I kind of paraphrase too much and speak too fast. So I'm gonna have it talk to you. Okay.
automatically install software updates overnight after they have been downloaded. You will receive a notification before updates are installed. Your iPhone must be charging and connected to Wi-Fi to complete the update.
Okay. Now this doesn't apply to version updates like 16 to 17, 15 to 16. Those updates have features, new features. Okay. And that's not what this is talking about. This is talking about major and minor updates that keeps you out of trouble. So let's say that somebody halfway across the world finds a new way to break into iPhones, okay? You don't want to be a victim of that hack. So if Apple identifies it right away, they can get an update down to you quickly, and then this thing will automatically put it on. And there's more to come on this in a little bit. So you want to have that on so you stay up to date and protected, because this is only for security fixes or security holes that are plugged, and then bug fixes. So let's go to the next thing. So you want those two on. You want download on, and then you want install updates on. Okay, so let's go to the next one.
Security responses and system file. On.
Okay, this is the second part of what I was talking about. Security responses and system files. So let me have it read you the explanation. So you get it.
Automatically install rapid security responses and system files for iPhone and supported accessories. You may need to restart your iPhone to complete the installation. Some system files will always be installed automatically, even if security responses and system files is turned off.
Okay, so this is the thing I was talking about. So when it finds something that's an emergency fix to keep you out of trouble, that's what this rapid security response thing is. And what it'll do, without even telling you, it will actually bring down only those updates that are for security. And it'll make sure that you're patched so you don't get in trouble. So all of the switches on this automatic updates screen should be turned on. Those things are going to keep you in real good health. Okay. Now, when they release a version update, like I just mentioned, my policy is, and I recommend that you follow it, because I got bit by this when we went to 16 late last year. Okay. Don't put the 16.0 or the 17.0 on. Just wait. Wait for the 17.1 or the 16.1. But let's wait for bugs to be fixed before you put it on. And if you do that, 99% chance you should be okay. You shouldn't have any weirdo experiences. Because sometimes they introduce bugs when they don't test the software properly. You get a feature update, like a whole number increment on versions. You want to be very careful with that so you don't lose functionality while they scramble to fix. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over, just for security kind of reasons. So, any questions?
I got lost when you said to go to security responses. I couldn't find it. What's it under?
So let me make sure I got it here. So you're talking about this guy here,
Security responses and system files. On.
that one.
Double tap
Yeah,
to
but I
top-
couldn't find it. What's it under? Because I
It's gonna
typed in
be-
the search box.
Oh, you need to go to, it may not, the search may not find it if it's not indexed properly. It didn't find backtap either. So go to a general, which is a little bit down the screen.
Yeah, I got to get back to that screen.
Yeah, just cancel the search, yeah.
Yeah. Come on, silly. I got to
So
move you around.
When you find general,
on.
and then you're going to go to the second item after that called software update. You want to go there.
Well, it's making me crazy. General. Okay, I'm at general.
And go
Then
into
what's up?
software.
And go to what?
The second item there should be software update.
General. No, it's not.
If you don't see an about and then software update.
Oh, you didn't say about. Okay.
Yeah, about's the first one and software update's the second one.
Okay, but it went software update. I got that.
So
Automatic on.
So what you do is you tap on that automatic updates thing. It's a button. You tap on
Right.
that.
I did
And
that.
then you'll have three settings that you can turn on and off. And the bottom one is going to be this security thing. This
Security responses and system file.
that's going to be down there at the end.
Well, what I got on the next screen is download iOS updates
Right.
and install iOS updates.
And then below that, you're going to have the last one. It's going to be below.
But
all
there's
that.
nothing below it. There's the
Then,
explanation, but nothing's below it.
it should be down there.
I realize you're saying that, but it's not. So that's really weird.
Yeah. Why don't we do
That's-
this?
Okay, that's fine. We'll do it at your convenience.
Yeah, call me offline because I know this will be hard to do it here today. But it should be there. If not, you may have a version. You may not be at the
Well,
exact.
I
version.
haven't updated to the new version, so
Oh,
I'll do
that's
that
probably why.
tonight and we'll see tomorrow.
That's probably what's
Okay.
going on. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
I think
thank
we
you.
solved it. Sorry.
yeah, it's always something stupid.
No, it's not. It's okay. Okay, any questions about those recommendations that I made on those 3 toggles? Okay. Anybody has any questions? My door is always open on here or offline, so don't worry about that at all, because I want to keep you safe. All right, let me see here. What's next? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is one that I've been wanting to show you guys. This is a Barbara thing here. So Barbara has introduced me to a great little program called Menus for All. So what do you think of that program, Barbara? Do you like it? How do you, have you played with it a little bit? Are you there, Barbara? All right, well, I'm going to continue anyway. So this Menus for All app, what it does is it is an app that will allow you to see the restaurants in your area or even in your city or wherever you're at. And you can go in and look at their menus. So let's say you want to go to somewhere, I don't know, Village Inn. And before you get there, you want to know what's on their menu. You want to know when they're open, maybe their phone number. All that is in this app. It's kind of neat, actually. So the app is a paid-for app because they have to keep this data up to date. It's not a passive thing that the restaurants submit into a central place. They have to go do it. Anyway, I'm going to show you how it works. So let me get out of the settings that I was in with Nancy right now. Hold on a second.
Settings. Setting, closing setting, reminders, closing reminders.
Okay. Hey Siri,
Mhm.
open Menus for All.
Please hold menus for all. Tab bar, loading.
Okay.
Hey
Loading.
Siri, shut up.
All right. So Menus for All has a normal interface, and
Completed.
sometimes it has these nagging status things like loading. That's voiceover repeating it, what it's seeing on the screen. And unfortunately, it does nag you for a while it's figuring out the restaurants. So the restaurants around me are the ones that appear. I'll just let it speak 2 of them, just so you know that it's working. So
Thirsty's Neighborhood Grill and Bar.
I'm not far from Thirsties, and then
2422 North Pantano Road, Tucson. 0.4, close.
it's closed now.
Menu Thirsty's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Buck 2. Fido's Taco Shop.
Anyway,
Heading.
it gets all the ones that are around me right away. But I want to look for one. Maybe I want to go to Village Inn, and I want to see if it's open. I want to see what time it's open until, and then I just want to see what's on something that I want to eat on the menu. So what's cool about this program is it has a search function somewhere. Let me just find it.
Tab bar. Selected. Near me restaurant search.
So at the bottom, they have tabs. I'm going to go to the second one. I think that's to find or search or whatever it is.
Search. Tab. 2 of 5.
So I'm going to go to search.
Search by restaurant name.
So I'm going to search by restaurant name. You can also search by
Menu
a
item.
menu item. Let's
Search.
say if you feel like eating tacos, you can put that in there and it'll find all the restaurants around you that serve tacos. And I think the last one is
Zip code.
zip code. So if you want to look for something in another zip code, you could do that. Let's say you're going over to a friend's house and they live in a different zip code and you want to get all prepared, you do that. I'm going to look for the name of the restaurant. That's the default search. And I'm going to look for Village Inn.
Restaurant name. Text field.
So I'm going to
Double check. Restaurant name.
But
Text
dictate
field.
Village Inn in there.
Dictate button.
Village Inn.
Inserted Village Inn. Search.
So I'm gonna hit the
Button.
search button.
Please hold on. Menus for all A.
So it's loading, it's gonna load, load, load. And
Loading.
then once it finds it, it'll come up. We'll just give it a
Loading.
second here.
Completed.
So you know when it's ready, because it said completed. So let's see if it found any village inns around me. So I'm gonna swipe to the right from the top here.
One menus found. Heading. 1.
So that's the first one in the list. It enumerates the restaurants it found. So this is number 1,
Village Inn. Heading.
Village Inn.
9560 East 22nd Street, Tucson. AC. 85,748.
I believe that's the one over at 22nd and Harrison, I think. That's where that is. And let's see what else it says.
3.5 miles.
So it's 3.5 miles from me,
Open.
and it's currently open. But now I want to see what's on the menu, right? So I want to swipe over to this menu button, which is the next swipe to the right.
Menu Village Inn. Button. Please. Back to restaurant list.
Okay.
Completed.
So from the top, we're going to go down. It's going to repeat some information just so you know what it's saying. And then we're going to get down to the food here. So let's do that. So
Village Inn.
Village
Heading.
Inn.
Favorite. Switch button open.
So you can mark it as favorite. And then the next thing it does, it tells you if it's open or closed. It's currently open.
Restaurant info. Heading. 9560 East 22nd Street. Hours collapsed heading.
Now, the hours, if it changes per day, you can see the 7 days, what the hours are. So let's open that up and just look at one day. Okay, so we'll do that now.
Hours expanded. Monday, 10 a.m. 02 a.m.
And let's see if Tuesday's any different.
Tuesday, 10 a.m. 02 a.m.
So it's 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Those are big hours. That's wow. Okay. So let's go down to where the food is. That's what's next. I'm going to go down to the rest of the days here.
Wednesday, third, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Phone, +1. 520. Menu. Heading. Sliced pies and cakes collapsed head.
So what they do with these restaurant menus is they group them into major categories. So I've been thinking, I'm trying to remember what they have over there. They got pies. I think they have skillets too. I'm going to see if I can find a skillet that I would like. So I'm going to go through the major categories until I get to the one I'm looking for. So there's pies.
Sliced pies and cakes. Family meals collapsed heading. Incredible beef pie. 3 egg omelettes collapsed heading. Signature skillets expanded heading.
Signature skillets. Here we go.
6 signature skillets items $14.79 to $16.19.
So there's 6 skillets ranging from $15 to $18. Kind of nice. It tells you that right away in summary. And then we can go down and look at those 6 skillets. I'm just going to go to the first one just to see. So I'm going to swipe to the right, go to the first one.
1. Ultimate skillet star. 2 bacon strips. 2 sausage links. Diced ham. Mushrooms. Green peppers. Onions. Tomatoes and melted cheeses. Price $16.19.
And that's what the program does. So when I get to Village Inn, I know I'm going to get that skillet. I only have to look at the menu. I'm ready to go. And I know what it's going to cost before I even get there. This is a really great little program for us, you know, when we want to do research before we go somewhere. It does cost, I think $2.99 per month, or there's like a $20 a year kind of subscription. So if you go out and eat a lot and you need to know what's going on, this might be a worthwhile investment. So I have it on like a 7 or 14-day trial, and then I'm going to end it. But for those of you who need the menu stuff, this is a really good program. So any questions on menus for all? Any restaurants you want me to look up for you? So, and that's pretty much it for that one. All right, so let's see what's next.
So it's free for 14 days, and after that, it's $3.25 a month.
Yeah, it's a great app, Barbara. Thanks for turning me on to that. I don't know if you want.
It has the one that you go to all the time, Jethro, is on there.
Oh, yes, yeah. So like I said, what you're paying for is not data that's just sitting out there for everybody to see. They're actually collecting data and being in touch with the
Right.
data.
And in a month or so, they're gonna have both Longhorn Longhorn Steakhouse and Texas Roadhouse on it.
Yes, so Barbara's the knowledge base on this. She knows. So it's very good app. Thank you, Barbara. That's a real good suggestion. So
So you can also search by menu item.
yes, I showed him that earlier.
Okay,
We
I
didn't
didn't
search,
have
but,
to.
but we could do it that way too. And that's kind of cool if you're looking for a very, I don't know, like some Spanish people looking for like menudo. You put that in there. Not everybody sells that, and you can find out who actually sells that here and get it from that place and know the price before you even get there. So kind of cool, kind of cool. All right. So if there's no question on menus for all, I will proceed to the next item. Okay.
Calendar. 2.
So has anybody ever got emails? This might be a dumb question, actually. Has anybody ever got emails that they want to block? If you say no, I'd be very surprised. But we get a lot of junk mail. We get a lot of people trying to fish, and fish mean PHISH, which is to try to get your data and relieve you of whatever monies that you may have. But what you can do is when you get an email, what's that? Well, when you get an email like that, you can block them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you have to do is go into your mail app. So I'm going to go into it.
Doc. Mail. 12 unread emails. Mail. Plus. 735. All inboxes. Back button. All inboxes. All inboxes. Back button. Messages. Unread. Total wine and more. 90.
So let's say that I don't want to get any more messages from Total Wine and More. What I would do, the way I do it, is I swipe up with one finger to get that context menu up. The same menu that you can delete with. There's going to be another option there called More. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to swipe up.
Delete. Drag item. Read later. More.
That one.
Total wine and more. Check out our selection of heading.
All right. So the heading just repeats the email that you were just swiping on. That's all that is. So if you swipe to the right, you get a bunch of options, and I'll go through a few of them so you can recognize this when you see it. I'm going to swipe.
Close.
That's the
Button.
close button for the dialogue.
Reply.
So you got reply, forward, all that stuff.
Reply all. Forward. Archive message. Remind me. Flag.
Okay. So you kind of see where that's going. This option is going to be at the very bottom of that list. So what I do is a 3-finger swipe up.
Page 3 of 4. Page 4 of 4. Block sender.
And that's what you press. You block them that way. And then you will no longer receive email from that sender. Now, here's the caveat with that. If you got a bad person out there sending you like these gross things that reference body parts, and you know what I'm talking about. Well, they're kind of smart. They're going to be like Johnny@weirdo.com, and then the next time they send you something, it's going to be Johnny2@weirdo.com. So what'll happen is when you block this, the first one, you'll block John or Johnny@weirdo.com, but then Johnny2 will get through. It's like whack-a-mole. It doesn't have the ability, as far as I can tell, to block by the domain, which is the not the Johnny part, but the weirdo.com. You can in other email applications, you can block by domain, but this one blocks specific senders. So an email address has your name at something.com. So your name is your username, the @ symbol is a separator, and then AOL.com is the domain. So you right now on the iPhone, you cannot restrict block mails from AOL.com. You can do it with Manny at email at AOL.com, but not just anything from that domain. You can do that in programs like Outlook. So
Manny?
yes.
Manny, it's Maggie. I found, maybe I'm messing up, but I found that when it's, if it's LL Bean or something like that, I put in my email. But if I'm checking on something because I'm interested in it, I push the hide the email, so it doesn't come back to me.
Oh, okay. And
It helps. Oh, it
Yeah, go
helps
ahead.
so that you don't get as much junk mail.
So what hide does, it's exactly what it's telling you. It's still in your mail, but it's just hidden from you. It's filtered out. It's saying, okay, don't show her that, just hide it. But it's not getting rid of the email, just so you know the difference. It's still there, but it's just hidden. What this
Well,
will
what
do.
it does, no, it puts in, the thing that I'm talking about is when they want your email,
Mhm.
and if it comes up and you use the hide, then it comes up with some gibberish in there instead of your true email.
Oh, you mean like a
And-
masking of what you're typing in? I'm sorry. Yeah,
Right.
no, that's a different.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. That's a
And-
security measure in case someone is watching you type it in, or in case some site has some kind of scrubber that's trying to read what you're typing in. Yeah, I get you.
Well,
Yes.
also, you don't get emails from them for 40 years in a row because they
Mhm.
can't get back to you.
Right. No, it's very good. Yeah, that's a good security measure. So yeah, everybody should take note of that. It's a good thing. Okay, so any more questions about blocking email senders? So lastly on that one, before I go, you're maintaining, your phone maintains a blocked senders list, okay? And everything that you block, whether it's a phone call or an email or a message or whatever, goes into this master list. So every time, and it's amazing how your phone does this, by the way. You could have thousands of contacts that are blocked on this list. Okay, and I don't mean contact names, I mean phone numbers, emails. And at an instant, it checks that list on every single call, every single text, every single email that you get, and it either blocks it, sends it to the deleted folder, or it lets it through. So your phone is doing a whole lot behind the scenes before you even see new email or phone calls, or even your phone ringing. Even if your phone company sends the call through, your phone says, nope, it's on the block list. We're not letting that call in. We're just going to send it to voicemail, or we're just going to not answer it or something. So these are amazing little devices in that respect. And I'm a big believer in blocking offensive things, or things that that people are trying to do to, to fool you or to harm you somehow. And I can help anybody with this if they have any questions, offline or even here and now. So very, very good way to help get rid of stuff that could be potentially harmful. So
When I
close this
get those junk calls, I immediately will change. If it said unknown, I'll type it to do not answer. I'll maybe call it do not answer, or
Mhm.
selling me insurance or whatever, and I'll block that caller. And then
That's
I don't
good.
get anywhere from them.
That's very
Or-
good, Nancy. And
Because
yes,
sometimes you're walking around and you're not looking at your phone,
that's
and
right.
I'll know salesman from such and such a real estate
Mhm.
or whatever. That way I know, but don't answer it.
Yeah. And nowadays, unfortunately, and I don't want to sound like an old geezer, but you have to screen your calls. You can't just pick up the phone like you said, hello, and nowadays you dare not do that. You have to screen them or let them go to voicemail, see if it's bona fide, see if it's your doctor. And then if it's not, then you put them on the bad boy list, on the block list, and then they
Mhm.
don't call again. The one
They
thing that's been
learn to
happening.
record you saying yes. Is this Nancy Dipple? And you say yes, and then they got a recording of you saying yes, and they can
I've
do all
heard of that.
fraudulent things. Yeah, I heard
I've
that
heard of that.
years ago, and
Yeah.
I never say yes. I just say no, 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 and I like Eileen does, and hang up.
That's right. That's right. Well, and the good thing about blocking harmful content. It does work, and it may not work immediately, but it does have a cumulative effect. Because the phone number that I have, my personal number on this phone, it must have been to a guy who was at every payday cash loan place in the world. So after he gave the number up and they gave me his number, I was getting calls from these places for years, 2 years or more. And every
Wow.
one I would block, block, block. Now I get nothing from these guys, nothing at all.
Right. Because they'll just
And-
call from another number. But
That's right.
eventually, hopefully they give up or go out of business.
That's right. So it's like playing whack-a-mole, and you get frustrated in the beginning, but once you start calling that list down and you start blocking all these guys, you start plugging holes that they can't get through anymore. And you're still going to get some, but nowhere near the amount that you would get if there was no blocking in place. So I'm a big believer in that. So, thank you, Nancy. All right, so what have we got here? Boom, boom, boom. Here's one that I think either will put you to sleep or you'll be very interested, but there'll be no middle ground on this one. So Barbara and I, we had a class and she was putting in a phone number. And I want to go to the contacts app and go to a contact. And I want to show you how you can edit a phone number effectively, okay, without going crazy or having to strain to see it, okay, because that's the whole idea of this voiceover class, is to get you to use the vision you got, but try to use the tools that are in front of you, because it'll help you get things done. So I'm going to open up contacts and I'm going to open up somebody, and then I'm going to show you how to do this.
Notify me.
Just close that up.
Doc. Mail. Apps with mail. Closing mail. Menus for closing menus for off.
All right. Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
open contacts.
Contacts.
All
Send
right.
message. Button.
Okay. Let me find somebody that I can show.
Kevin at Handyman Servant. Contacts.
Go
Back button.
back.
Contacts. Back button.
Let's find something that I know this is going to go on YouTube, so I got to be careful. So let me just see here.
Shirley Jackson. Heidi. Ela Ruffley. Page 9 of page 5 of page 4 of 26. Bobby Young. Rada.
You can do me.
Barbara, okay.
You can
Bobby
just
Young.
take off the landline.
Bella Thomas. Betty Ann Bella Cat B. Diane Betty Ann Kaminsky.
All right, let me find you, Barbara.
Barbara Patterson. Cat B. Heading. Search.
Go to
Search. Field.
search.
Search field. Search.
Gonna do Barbara.
Dictate. Button.
Barbara McPherson.
Inserted Barbara McPherson. Search results. Barbara McPherson.
Okay. So when I click on Barbara's name in the contact list, the screen that comes up is her contact card. All I can do here is view it. I could also do a couple little things, but I can't change anything really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into her, I'm going to go hit edit to edit her card. Now, Barbara, which phone number is it okay
Landline.
to?
You can
The
play with the
landline?
landline.
So not your mobile. Okay. All right. So I'm going to expose Barbara's landline for editing here. So I'm going to hit edit, which is the very top right of the screen on this contact card. I'm going to do that now.
Edit. Button. Done.
So I'm going to get down there. So the contact card shows, and it's got her name, and it's got her phone numbers here. Let me make sure that I'm on the home one. I'm going to use my vision and cheat a little bit so I don't get the wrong number.
Home. Button. 52029824247. Text field.
That's it, right, Barbara?
That's it.
Double tap to edit.
Okay. So if I want to edit that, then that's what this part of the class is about. Let's say I want to change something in that number. Okay. I double tap on the number. So there's a distinction here. So let me back up a little bit so you can hear it. I'm gonna go back,
Home button.
go back one more.
Back company. Home button.
So this is her home,
Activate to choose type.
this is her home phone number, okay? This is not what you edit, okay? This is just the tag that says this is her home phone number. If you want, you could change it to iPhone or mobile or whatever, but this is the tag. So you got to keep swiping until you get to the number field. So I'm going to swipe one
Oh.
more.
520.
Okay, there's that. Now, if I want to edit that, I have to double tap with one finger. So I'm going to do that now.
Text field is editing. 520-298-2427. Insertion point at end.
So this is a step.
Swipe up or down to select.
This is a step you listen for. So whenever you open a text field, it's not just a phone field. It could be anything, anywhere on the phone. You got to make sure it says is editing, and insertion point is either at the beginning or the end or wherever it says it's at. Okay. And the key here to editing is you need to know where your insertion point is, and you need to know where you want to place the insertion point. And since we're not doing this visually, we're going to have to do it with our ears. So if I wanted to go to the beginning of her number, okay, I'm currently at the end. Okay, I want to go to the beginning. I double tap on the field and it'll say that. So listen closely. Here we go.
Insertion point at start.
Okay. If I double tap again, it's going to move the insertion point back to the end. Now, typically you want the insertion point at the end if you wanted to delete characters to the left of the insertion point, the backspace kind of thing. But if you need to change just one number and you don't want to type in a bunch of other ones, maybe we want to find a number, maybe the very first part of the last 4 digits, okay? So what I would do is that's when we use the rotor. Okay, so we use a rotor and we change it to characters. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do a little rotor gesture.
Characters.
Oh, there it is. So if I want to move, I swipe up or down. So let me do that now. I want to swipe down.
Left parent. 5.
So I'm moving forward to the number 5,
2.
2, 0.
Right parent. Space. 2. 9. 8. Dash.
So right now, I'm right next to the, let me make sure that I'm telling you correctly. I'm on the left side of the number after the dash. So let's hear that again. I'm going to go back 1.
2.
Okay.
2.
Oh, there's 2 2s there.
Dash. 8. 9. 2. Space. Right parent. Right space. 2. 9. 8. Dash.
So the 2 should be right after that.
2.
Let's say I wanted to change that to 1. What I would do is I would hit the backspace key, which is this one down here somewhere, very bottom right corner, because this is a number. It's not going to have the full keyboard. So I'm going to hit that.
2.
Let's say I want to change it to 1.
1.
Now, if I go back up to the field that I was editing, her number will have changed. Where the 2 was, now a 1 is there. So let me go there. Just make sure.
Text field. Delete. Activate.
Oops.
Default. Characters. 4. 2. 7. 7. 2. 4. 1.
There it is. 1.
Dash. Dash.
I know it sounds weird on your end, okay? But I'm just messing with the last 4 digits of her number. Just trust me that I'm moving character at a time, and I know where that 1 is because I just did it. I mean, on your side, it may not make any sense, but when you're
Manny,
doing it.
where are you in the rotor?
So the rotor is going to be on characters.
Character.
Yes. And then once I select characters, I can then navigate one character at a time by swiping up or down. and
Okay,
that's-
got it. But
So
isn't the
that's-
other way would be just to hit the delete key?
Yes, yes, yeah. So there's many ways to do this. I'm just showing you one. So when you're on a field, whether it's just a bunch of text or numbers, this works universally. If I'm in a note and there's a bunch of words, Well, I can change that to words, and I can edit that field that way too. Here, let me show you. I'm going to cancel out of this because I don't want to change Barbara's number. So I'm going to go up and hit cancel.
Cancel button. Can alert. Are you sure you want to discard your changes? Discard changes. Discard changes.
Okay.
Back button. Calendar.
So let's get to something that has multiple words in it. And I'm going to show you how the rotor really helps you navigate. Okay. So I'm going to go to my email here.
Doc. Mail. 14. Mail. Unread. Total wine and more. 9. Select message header. Total wine and more. Link. Image. Message header.
All right. So I'm in the message header. There's multiple words there. I can see it. Now, what I want to do is instead of going by character, I want to hear each word at a time. And this is a way I can bounce between words and then ultimately edit. Now, I'm not going to edit an email from them. I'm just showing you how you can navigate to different words. So I'm going to do the rotor gesture and listen for words.
Characters. Words.
Words. And now if I swipe up or down, I will navigate the text by words.
90 plus. Point. Wines. Under. $15.
And go back the other way.
$15. Under. Wines. Point. 90 plus.
You see that? It's kind of cool. So this gives you a way using your ears to navigate through text or numbers or whatever it is. And then when you find the place you need to be, you can then, let's say I want to go to numbers. Okay, I'm gonna navigate to that word.
90 plus. Point. Wines. Under. $15. Plus. Deals. Inside.
I don't know where I'm at.
Inside. Deals. Plus. $15. Under. Wines. Point. 90 plus.
Well, let's do another word. I chose numbers. It's not even in there. Hang on.
90 plus. Point. Wines.
Wines. So right now I'm at the word wines. Now, if I wanted to go by character, meaning I want to say WINES, then I got to go to the rotor and then I got to change the granularity of my navigation from big words to little characters. I'm going to do that now.
Lines. Speaking rate. Containers. Headings. Actions. Characters.
So now if I go, I should be hearing the word wine now.
Space. Cap U.
Oops.
Cap U. Space. SENI. Cap W.
So I'll go the other way and it'll
Whiskey.
say the word wine.
Cap WINES.
So there it is.
See.
You get used to it. I don't use it that much. That's why I'm kind of clumsy. But when the people who are really good at it can just do it without even looking and just go crazy on it. You can also navigate by lines. Let's say if you have a paragraph of text and you just want to hear one line at a time. Well, you can do that too. I'll go in and change it to lines and you'll hear how that sounds.
Words. Lines.
There's lines. So I'm going to go.
Under $15 plus deals inside. 90 plus point wines under $15 plus deals inside. 90 plus point.
Well, this is actually all one line wrapped. So this is not a good example. But if there were multiple lines, it would actually read the one line. And then when I swipe down to the next line, not a wrapped line, it would actually read that line all by itself. And I think, yeah, it's just the whatever the width of the screen accommodates for a line. Anyway, there's other ways of navigating without using your vision. And of course, any questions about navigating text fields? Do you want me to show you another one, or is anybody got any confusion about this? Well, all right, the test is Friday. Hope you're ready. All right, let's go. Let's see here. Boom. Text. Okay. I wanted to explain what Bluetooth is. I know you guys have heard the term. Does anybody know what it is, what it does? Anybody have any ideas? All right. So Bluetooth was developed about 25 years ago, roughly, around there. And it was designed to replace all these interconnecting wires between computers and peripherals. And it's been a very highly successful standard. So you know, when you have mice for computers, or you have speakers for phones, or earbuds that are Bluetooth, the device that you're pairing them to, because that's how you get them to talk to each other, they know how to talk to each other. And then, of course, once they're connected via this wireless Bluetooth technology, whatever application that's responsible for sending data to it will then use the established Bluetooth
Control
communications.
center.
Oops,
Airplane.
to communicate with it. And that's the way that works. Typically, Bluetooth will work between 30, 35 feet and a few hundred feet, depending on what standard the Bluetooth is communicating at. But typically in most homes, Bluetooth will reach everywhere, and you'll have no problems playing your music or controlling another device somehow, you know, with the Bluetooth standard. So I just wanted to explain that to help people understand what Bluetooth really is. Okay. Any questions about Bluetooth? All right. Let me see what else we got here. We got, so another app that Barbara turned me on to that's really interesting for you guys is called the K-Gun app. And it is a news app, and it's really good. So let me bring it up so you guys can enjoy it along with me here. Hang on.
Message head. Dog. Mail. 13 on red.
Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
open K-Gun.
It doesn't look like you have an active Kagan.
Yes,
You
I
can
You
do.
have
search for it.
to spell it out.
Yeah,
Safari.
it's okay. I know where it's
Page
at.
4. FaceTime. Page
Well,
3
no,
of
but
4.
people need to know that. I have to say, open the KGUN app. And then she
Okay,
says
let's do it that way. Yeah, I have it right here. So, hey Siri, open KGUN.
Gun 9.
That's it.
Chat bar. Sections.
Very good,
Chat.
Barbara.
3 of 5.
So this is a review. We talked about this maybe 6 months ago, but it's worth going over again if you're longing for a news app that really gives you a lot of great stories. And this K-Gun app is pretty good. I like it. It gives you videos. It gives you stories. It kind of helps curate them, so it keeps you interested. So the very first tab on the bottom, I think it's called Home or Current or something. Let me see here.
Tab bar. Selected. Top stories.
Top stories.
Tab. 1 of.
That was way off. Okay, so the top stories tab, I'm just gonna swipe a few times and so you can get an idea for what's there. If I look at it with my vision, there's a big video square up here with a play button in it, and there's some smaller tiles with different little stories in it. We'll just go through a couple of them so you can just get a feel for it, and then you can explore on your own later. So I'm going to start here at the top, and then we'll come down.
KGUN 9 now.
Okay, so that's the very top, and we're going to swipe across.
Live video.
There's a live video.
Scripps News. CDC study shows autism rates on the rise.
Okay, so that's one story there. So let's go to the next one.
Toolbar. 3 HRS ago.
Now, what's cool about K-Gun and a lot of these other apps too is they sort the stories by when the stories were released. So the latest stories are on top, and then going back in time towards the bottom. So the next story under here is going to be this one.
Rescued after being kidnapped. Held at Tucson Hotel.
Wow. Okay.
Toolbar. 1:30 p.m.
So that was earlier today. And then there's more down below that. Okay. So you get the gist of it. And then the second tab here, let me go to that.
Tab bar. Weather. Tab.
So
2 of 5.
again, as you guessed, it's just weather, the Tucson weather. So let's go into that, and it should, using my location, because you got to give it location permissions for it to figure out your weather around you. So if I go from the top and I start swiping to the right, you'll hear some weather stuff here. So let me do that. Where are we at?
Weather.
Weather.
At 81 degrees.
Okay, and if I keep swiping, there's more.
Turn on current location. Button. Clear.
It's clear.
Tucson, AZ. High. Degrees. Low. 58 degrees. Get ready for a weekend warming trend.
So these are stories related to weather, and they're going to be listed just like the last list we looked at. And of course, I think this is the latest. Let me see.
Hourly forecast for Wednesday.
So there's a forecast for Wednesday by hour, and then below that, there's more stuff. And I'll let you explore that on your own. Just know it's there, and it's very good. It's a very good app. So the next one is.
Tab bar. Sections. Tab.
So
3
these,
of 5.
like sections in your newspaper, you can drill through and just get to the stuff you want. So let's go here.
Sections. My save. Heading.
Of course, if you like sections that you visited, you can save them in your own list, little curated list, and you can come back and then those sections and their latest news items will be in this particular part right here.
Saved stories. Button.
So I haven't saved any, so let's skip over that.
Categories. Heading.
Here's the fun part, the categories, the sections.
Local news. Button.
There's local news,
National.
national.
Sports. Button.
Let's say you like sports. We'll go in there.
In progress.
So it takes a second to,
Sugar Skulls W.R. Carrington Thompson
Oh.
makes a connection at Boys and Girls.
and there it is. It automatically goes to the first story. So let's see what else is with that story. What other information is there?
Toolbar. Sugar Skulls lose home opener to San Diego Strike. NFL suspends 5 players for violating gambling policy. Pre-K soccer clinic by Tucson.
So lots of news and sports. Very good. So there's more here. There's 2 more tabs on the bottom. One of them I think is called settings. Let's go there.
Tab bar. Settings.
Now
Tab. 4.
we don't need to visit that. What that really is in a nutshell is if you have an account with them, which you can create, or you can just go anonymous, which is what I'm doing. They can curate things especially for you because you have an account with them. You don't need to pay for it, I don't think, as far as I know. It's just an identifier so they can curate news better for your experience. That's what an account is. And of course, there's notification options there too. So if you have weather notifications from KGUN, they'll pop up if you turn those on. So the last tab, which is a really good one, is search.
Tab.
So let's say that I don't want to hear all that noise about sports, and I don't want to hear all that noise about this and that. I want to know about, I don't know, Joe Biden.
Search. Search field. Search field.
So I'm gonna dictate his name in there.
Dictate. Button.
Biden.
Inserted Biden.
So then I hit search.
Search. Search. Biden. Search field.
Now I'm on a
Double
search
tap
field,
edit.
so I have to navigate off of it and get down to the search results, i.e. the stories. So let me do that. I'm gonna swipe to the right.
Selected. Stories. But videos.
Oh, and then
Button.
you have a further filter here. You have just the stories, and then you have videos too. And that's what's really good about this. If you just want to watch videos and not listen to voiceover talk, you could do that as well. But for our demonstration, since we're not visual folks, I'm just going to stick onto the stories. But know that you can play videos too. You can just play them and then they'll play. So let me keep going.
U.S. regulators plan to go after harmful AI business practices.
So for some reason, I guess Biden's mentioned in that story. And these are by date. So this is the latest story.
Toolbar. 1 hour ago.
That was an hour ago. Let's see what the next one is underneath it.
Can the internet survive without the controversial Section 230? Toolbar. 2 HRs ago.
So we'll do one more.
How was the internet created?
So I guess Biden is mentioned in these stories somehow, but it's not on the headline part of it. So, and that's how you navigate the KGUN app. Really good app, and it's free, and you can really get a lot of good news out of it. I think it's a very well balanced kind of, presentation for the news. So, any questions about KGUN or the app? All right, guys, let's see what's next. Oh, lost my place here. Oh, there it is. Oh, another app that Barbara turned me on to that I really like is what's called Weather Office. So if you're kind of a weather nut and you want to know what's going on, this thing has just about everything you could want. So I'm going to close the KGUN app, And then I'm going to open up the Weather Office app.
Magnifier.
Actually, I got a 14. I don't need to close that first. I can leave it open. Hey, Siri. Open Weather Office.
Weather office. Thursday night. Low 58.
Now, what's cool about Weather Office is there's some nice visuals with it. So if you're looking at it during the day, it's got kind of a white interface. Unfortunately, it doesn't inherit the color scheme of the phone. And what I mean by that is if you set up your phone in dark mode, like you want everything dark, it doesn't respect that. It just does its own colors. But they're black and white. So if you're going to not use the color scheme of the phone, that's probably a safe bet to use those two colors. So during the day, it's a white background with black text. And at night, it's the opposite, it's reversed. So here are the details for this site, which is Tucson. You can create other sites like Sanford, Florida, or Los Angeles, California. So I'm going to go to the top and hear what's going on in Tucson here. So here we are.
Tucson, 85,715. AZ.
So it's
Heading.
even granular by zip code in Tucson. So I'm at 15. So I'm going to go to the next thing.
Radar button.
So what radar does is it shows you a radar map. Very visual thing. Doesn't do us much good. I've been there already, and it just looks like I don't know what it looks like. I have no idea. But anyway, I'm going for the stats. So I'm going to keep swiping.
Current conditions. Clear. 80 degrees. Pressure not observed. 2.25 degrees. Visibility not observed. Wind west 11 miles per hour. Humidity 13%. Sunrise 5.
Okay.
Site. Back button. Current condition. Hourly forecast graph. Tonight. Wednesday. Wednesday night. Low Thursday. High 90 degrees. Thursday night. Low 58 degrees. Friday. High 93 degrees.
So obviously these are days at a time, and it just keeps going, and there's more at the bottom here after that. Let's see.
Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday.
So
Page 3 of Monday night. Low 61 degree, Tuesday, windy app.
So it gives you about 2 weeks worth of daily kind of stuff, you just listening to on this one. So, and the way you navigate to another location, or what they call sites, is you have a back button up here.
Back button.
You do that.
Site.
And I've got a
Edit.
second site in here, which was the town that I grew up in Florida, which is Sanford. So
Sanford.
we go in
FL.
there, and we can look at
Current
that weather.
conditions. Partly cloudy, 70 degrees. Feels like 82 degrees. Pressure 29.97 in Hg. Rising. 2.66 degrees. Visibility 10 miles. Wind northeast 3 miles per hour. Humidity 87%. Sunrise 6:49. Sunset 19. 50.
You get the idea. It's pretty humid over there. And again, it's at the same data, just laid out for Sanford. So it's a very good app if you're interested in detailed weather kind of stuff. So any questions on Weather Office? All right, I'm gonna close that
The
up.
full moon in the night sky. Magnifier. Closing weather office. Closing KGUN9. Mail. Closing mail.
All right,
Contacts.
so let's see what else we got on our list here.
Closing contacts. Fire TV.
Where are
Magnifier.
we now?
Double tap to open.
Okay, one thing that you need to really know how to do is searching in the App Store. Now, there's kind of a few ways to do that. So if you want an application, let's say, Weather Office, let's say you want to get that. There's kind of two ways that you can search. You could tell Siri to find Weather Office in the App Store, and it will submit Weather Office as a search argument, just as if you typed it into the search field on the App Store. So I'm gonna demonstrate that now. So there's the Hey Siri, find Weather Office in the App Store.
Okay, I found this on the web for Find Weather Office
It
in the
didn't
App
work
Store.
right. Hang on a
Check
second.
it out.
Let's try that again.
Magnifier.
Hey Siri, search for Weather Office in the App Store.
Okay, I found this on the web for search for Weather Office in the App Store.
It's not working now. Okay. Well, trust me, that does work when it does work. I'm going to show you the alternative way, which is why I teach two ways to do this. Sometimes Siri works and sometimes she doesn't. I don't know what the problem is, but anyway, I'm going to go to the App Store and I'm going to do it the
App Store.
way number 2.
App Cellular. 2 of 4. Cellular. 2 of 4 bars. Signals tab bar. Selected. Search.
At the very bottom right in the App Store is the search tab. So I'm going to double tap on that.
Selected. Search. Tab.
And then the field where you enter the information is going to be up here at the top. I'm going to just put my finger up here.
Search. My account. Games. Apps. Stories. And more. Search field.
That's what you're listening for, search field. And there's some stuff in the front we don't really care much about. So we're going to double tap on that.
Insertion point.
And then I'm gonna dictate Weather Office and Weather Office.
Inserted Weather Office.
So then I can just hit search.
Search. Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
Now before, when I was preparing for the class, I was able to do this with Siri, no problem. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or if Siri's being funky or what's going on. Anyway, usually the very first guy in the search result is not the guy you're looking for. It's the guy they're promoting. Let's see if that's the case.
Advertisement. Weather live degrees. Local forecast.
So that's another competing app. So let's swipe to the next thing.
Advertisement. Get. It. Artwork. 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 Weather Office. Weather for Canada and the USA. 4.5 stars.
That's the one I've
80
got.
ratings. Button.
So I've already got this app. So the only option I have for
Keep
this
going, Manny.
one,
Let's see how much it is. It's not free.
okay, I have the option to open it. So let's look at the cost of the app.
Open. Button. Weather. The Weather Channel. Local radar
Oops,
map.
we'll
Open.
go back.
Button.
Sorry.
Weather Office. Weather for Canada and the Artwork. Weather Office. A yellow sun in a blue sky. What's new? Version history. Button.
Where is the?
Age. 4 o'clock. Weather for Canada and the USA. Open. Button. Share. But 80 ratings. Age. 4. Category. Developer. Language. Size. What's new? Version history. Version 5.4. Preview. Artwork. 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 6. iPhone. Weather Office provides accurate local weather data and forecasts for Canada and the USA. Features. A layout that gives you the information you need with no clutter. Short-term hourly forecast graph. Temperature. Wind speed. Quantity of precipitation. And probability of precipitation. Radar. Precip ET/N1P. Semicolon watches. Warnings. And alerts. Weather Office has been designed to provide an easy-to-use single-screen experience with stable, fast, and reliable performance. Weather and forecasts are based on Environment Canada and /or NOAA/NWS data. Star radar and hourly graphs not available in all locations.
So it doesn't give you the cost here. I think that happens when you load the app up. It's gonna- it's-
Okay.
It asks you for the subscription level. You can do a monthly subscription, or you can do a yearly subscription. I think monthly is $2.99 and yearly is like $20.
I don't think so. You can buy it right out.
Or you can buy it out. I haven't researched that fully. I'm on a monthly subscription right now. So maybe I can go into the app and maybe we can find that. I don't know. Let me see. I haven't explored that, so this is uncharted territory for me. But it should say it here. I don't know why it doesn't. Let me just check to be sure.
X2 Studios. Develop ratings and reviews. See all. 4.5. 5 stars. 4 star. 3, 2, 1, 8. Tap to rate. Star rating. Awesome weather app.
Oh, so these are just reviews now. Okay, so let's get out of there.
App Store.
Hey Siri. Open Weather Office.
Wednesday night. Low 65 radar button. Site. Back button. Wednesday. High page 2 of 4. Site. Back site.
Let me
Edit.
see if there's a way to get to that stuff. I've never tried it.
Site. Tucson. Sanford. Boulevard. Settings. Button.
Settings, probably there.
Settings. Site. Settings. Heading. More cities. Switch. Radar circle. Switch. Loop duration. Select 3 hours. Hourly forecast. Graph. Switch button. Acknowledgements. Acknowledgement. Switch button. Graph.
You know, I'm gonna have to do more research on this because I don't have
Okay,
an easy
alright.
way of getting to it. It's usually in settings and you can change your subscription level there. I don't know why it's not there. I have no idea. But I know that when I set this thing up initially, and Barbara, you have to correct me if I'm wrong, there was a $2.99 level and then there was a yearly level. And maybe that was an outright level. I could be wrong on that. So I'll clear that up in the notes, I promise. So
Well, you can write that up in the notes.
yes. So sorry about that, but yeah, I'll get it cleared. Okay, so what's next? We have App Store search. Oh, show and tell, TSB website. So I got to give Barbara a hand. She's really brought the site a long ways in the past year or two, and it's really looking pretty good. I was on it earlier today, in preparation for this class. And I was really happy with just about everything that I saw. I think it's really laid out well. Without further ado, let's go to that site. I have it saved in my favorites on Safari, so let me do that.
Calendar. Tuesday. At weather. Closing weather off. Apps. Closing apps.
Oh, is there any questions about Weather Office before I continue? I forgot to ask. Okay, no? Okay,
Edit mode.
all right, let me just go do that. So I'm gonna go to Safari.
Safari. Safari. By 2017. Reader available. Address. Text field. AT&T. Home. You. Google. Button. Welcome. Tucson Society of the Blind. Button.
Okay,
A blue and white logo on a black background. Tap M.
so it's actually a W.
Welcome.
So do
Tucson's open main menu. Pop-up button. Navigation. Landmark. Menu pop-up.
that. All right, so what's really nice about the site now, it's very elegant, in my opinion, especially compared to the previous version. And it does adjust itself for mobile devices because the width of this screen is much less than the width of your computer screen. So the people that were doing the design, has set up an alternate view of the site that's optimized for smaller screens, mobile devices. So it really looks good, and the menus are working like expected, like the industry standards. So to get to the menus on TSB, they're right at the top, and you just swipe down. So let me go from the very top.
Tucson Society of the Blind. Current page. Visited.
So
Link.
I'm going to swipe to the right.
Navigation menu. Link navigation.
So
Landmark.
navigation menu, and you have two buttons that I think do the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
TSB members
Oops.
visit to link.
So it's just called link. That should probably say something like global navigation menu or something like that. And then to the right is going to be a menu button.
Menu. Link.
And they both pop open the same menus. So it's not a bad thing. So if I hit this menu thing,
Menu. Link.
a menu then pops up. And if I swipe down to the first item,
Home. Visited. Link.
so that's where
List
we're at.
star.
There's an arrow thing that's right next to it, and it's still not speaking those, Barbara, just so you know. Not the end of the world, but it's probably something that the guy should address at some point. So I'm going to swipe to the right and go to the next item in the list.
Home. Newsletters. Link.
So I'm just going to swipe through a few of them so you can get an idea what the menus are. So there's home, newsletters,
Photo album.
photo
Link.
album,
Useful articles.
useful articles,
Resources for the visually impaired.
resource
Link.
area.
Manny's iPhone
I know
classes.
there's one for me
Visited.
right there,
Jim Click raffle
and
tickets.
raffle
Link.
tickets.
TSB members visit to home.
That's it. So it's real simple, it's real clean, real elegant. And I'll just go down the site a little bit. It's got all the information right up in front where you need it. You don't have to go searching for it, which I really like. I really appreciate that. So the first time, the guy on the site is a picture of the group, which is this one right here.
TSB members visit Tohono Chul Park. Image
So I'm gonna go to the next thing.
landmark. Welcome to Tucson Society of the Blind. Heading level 1. Serving Tucson and Pima County. We welcome all with visual impairment.
So I'm gonna go through a little faster instead of reading it all, just so you get a gist for it.
Welcome to the Tucson Society of the Blind. TSB website. We may not have a lot of sight, but we have a great vision.
So there's the tagline.
All about TSB. Link.
So there's links here. And what I like about this site too, which is a really cool thing, it doesn't matter if you're at the top of the site or at the bottom, you have navigation to anywhere you want to go. And I wish all sites did this. This is really cool. So that's basically what I had to say about it. I think it's a really well put together site, and it seems to load quickly, and it's aesthetically pleasing from what I can see. So good job, Barbara. Looks really good.
Thank you. Under useful articles, you'll find 10 articles by Annie.
Oh,
And you
should we
don't
go there
have to
just to see?
listen to them all. You can go down and see what they all are.
Yeah, let's find that. I'm sorry. Let's see.
We may not all about TS. Join us at our Tuesday mornings. Christ Presbyterian 6500 includes topic as events calendar. Heading level 1.
I always like this in a website, have the events right on the front page. I like that. I don't have to go searching for it. So I'll just go through one or two events real quick so you know that it's up to date.
All about TSB. TSB members will be on the phone from February 28th through March 21st from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 1. Then enter access code. April 21st. Pool party at John McCann's house. 8,700.
So there's that. So let's go find those articles. And it's real easy to do because I can go to the bottom of the site or I can go to the top and it'll pop open those menus.
Page 1 of 7.
So I'll go there.
Link.
Whoops, where's it? Right there.
Menu. Link. Photo out. Useful
Let's
articles.
go there.
Link. Skip to content. In page link. Useful articles.
And right
Heading
there, it's
level
right
1.
on top. You don't have to go looking for it. It's, right where you want it.
We have a selection of helpful and timely articles written by Annie Schlesinger and others to help navigate life as visually impaired member of society.
All right, so let's go down and see one of these articles. And if there's one you like, Barbara, just let me know. So
Being organized. Part 1. Heading level 4.
I'm just gonna click into that one and see what it says.
Being organized. Part 1. Heading level. Being organized. Part 1.
So being organized is up. I'll just have it, read a little bit of it, and then there's a big article here. We don't want to be here all night reading that, but
I taught by Annie Schlesinger. When I had the idea to write about being organized, I checked the topic at the Talking Book Library. There were
Yeah.
18 results.
But the nice thing is they're in order. She has 3 get organized, and now they're in order,
Yes.
1, 2, and 3.
yes, that's absolutely right. So this site is very much easy to use, and it's a very good resource for us. And I find myself going here once in a while, just taking a look at it. And Annie's a pretty smart lady, so she writes a lot of cool things that I read sometimes. So any questions on the TSB site, or Barbara, do you have any more comments on this?
The only thing you can do is if you want to do it from Surrey, you just ask her to open website and then give her the name.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to close it in Safari, and then we're going to do what Barbara said. Hang on a second.
Safari. Apps with Safari. Closing Safari.
So what Barbara's saying is that instead of doing all that monkey business that I just did to open it up, you can actually just tell it to open it up via Siri. I'm hoping Siri's going to do it because I've got a 50-50 on this. So here we go. Hey Siri, open web.
It doesn't look like you have an app named Web.
Sorry.
You can search for it in the App Store.
Sorry about that. I'm not used to the new Siri on my phone yet. So she says, when I'm not expecting it. So let me see. Let me try it again.
Calendar.
All right, take 2. Hey Siri. Open website Tucson Society of the Blind.
Okay, I found this on the web for open website Tucson Society of the Blind. Check it out.
Tucson Society of the Blind. We welcome all with visual impairment.
So we just do that.
Selected. Safari. Toolbar.
And the beautiful site is right up again where we were at. So, yeah, I can't say enough good things about this site. It's really good. So yeah, I'm so happy because I saw it the way it was before, and I didn't want to like say anything bad, but it wasn't elegant like it is now. I like it more now, so it's really good. So, all right, let's see what we have. If there's no questions about the Tucson TSB website, I'll move on. So, has anybody ever used the calculator on the phone? If not, I'm going to show you how.
Calendar. App switcher. Safari. Closing Safari.
All right. Let me see here. Where is that?
8:29 p.m.
Okay. So the way you open the calculator is you just tell Siri to open it. So you go, hey Siri, open calculator. Now what's good about
8:29 p.m.
great about the calculator, I'm going to point the phone towards the screen so you can see it. Big buttons. I mean, each button your finger can easily fit into. And so it just works like a normal calculator. So, you know, we just type in, I don't know, 15.
1, 5.
I don't know, we'll do, the operator will be multiplication. So we go times
Multiply. Result.
by 6.
6
And we hit equals.
equals. Result. 90.
So what it does, it speaks the result because it knows voiceover is on. If I want to take that 90 and copy it to another app, I can do that. I can actually put my finger where the 90 is.
Result. 90.
And I can swipe up.
Show menu item. Activate. Default. Show menu item.
And
Copy.
then I can copy.
Menu item. Copy. Speed.
Or I can have it
Menu item.
spoken again. So if I wanted to copy it, that whatever that number is in there, it could be a big number. It'll actually copy it and then I can paste it somewhere else. And there's really not much to this this guy besides
Result.
that,
Not result.
unless you
None.
unless you want to see the scientific calculator. And the way you bring that up is pretty nifty. All you do is you just rotate it landscape.
Scientific. Landscape.
So if you're into
Chart
math,
to the right.
like yours truly, you'll really appreciate the sine, cosine, tangent, you know, trigonometry options, all kinds of really cool stuff that just floats my boat every time I look at this. So scientific calculator is good for those more advanced functions. And then of course, if you flip it back to
Basic.
profile,
Portrait.
it'll give you the basic calculator for everyday kind of stuff. So it's a really cool little application if you want to have a calculator that you can just tap onto. Of course, you could also tell Siri to do things. You could say, hey Siri, what is 15 times 6?
15 times 6 is 90.
You can do it that way too. That's your audio calculator. I'm not sure how you would do scientific stuff with it. That would be interesting to show you
Result.
some of that.
90.
Anyway, any questions on calculator? It wasn't a very big topic. I just wanted to show it to you guys. So everybody has this app. It comes with the iPhone. It's built in. So it's an Apple app.
Calendar.
I think I have one more
April 25th.
thing.
Double tap to open.
Oh, so for your higher end phones like your Pros, the magnifier app has been vastly improved. You're not going to see this stuff on the SE, but let me show you what it looks like on these phones so you can think about if you need it or not. So I'm going to open up magnifier and we're going to look at the things that it can detect, okay? Real quickly, because I know we're at the 8:30 mark and I just don't want to keep you guys up too much longer than you have to. So I'm going to open up the magnifier app. Hey Siri, open magnifier.
I can't find any TVs.
Magnifier. Viewfinder. Image.
So in magnifier, you have settings within that app that you open up. It's not located in the settings app, which is kind of weird to me, but okay. So there's a settings button in the magnifier app in the lower left quadrant of the screen, and it's going to sound like this when you hit the right button.
Settings. Button.
We'll go in there,
Swipe. Default. Button.
and then you got to pick. There's a 3 option menu, right? So we got to pick that.
Save new activity, settings, button,
So you hit the settings button, then you hit the settings menu item. You gotta get hit twice, I guess.
settings. Customize controls.
Now, there's a lot
heading,
of stuff in here, but we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, the detectors, because that's what these newer phones bring to us that the other phones don't have. So let's get down to that section. I'm gonna get down there quickly.
Secondary controls,
No,
heading,
these are all the controls you can put on the magnifier if you need them, but we won't go through that.
brightness, reorder flat, other insert focus, focus lock, insert cam, insert detection mode, insert detection, reorder activities, filters, detectors, heading,
This is a section that really makes it worth the price of admission with the magnifier and the newer apps. This is why you have all of these little lenses and detectors on the back of your phone, because this is what utilizes them. So in detectors, we have a few sections, like 2 or 3 sections, not too many. So the first one is
people detection, button,
people detection. So let's open that up and let's see what it says about that, so you can get an idea of what it does.
people detection, units, heading,
So when you, and all these detectors, it always has a distance thing at the very top, meaning how far is the thing that we're detecting away from you? And that can be expressed in feet, or if you're on the other system, in meters. So we're going to skip over that and understand what people detection does. So let's go down here.
sound feedback will use a higher pitch when people are detected within the distance indicated.
So this is a general thing. So you're sitting in a room and you're not sure anybody's around you. You have people detection on, and it's a mode you switch to in magnifier. You go people detection instead of door detection. And then you just take your phone and just move it around you in a circle, and it'll tell you, there's a person over there. And it might do some explanation about what they look like. It might try to describe them as best as it can, it being what it is. And it'll tell you how far away they are. So that's people detection, and that's what you get when you get these phones. So let's go look at the next one. I think that's
Customize control,
door detection. I think.
people detection, door detection, button,
So we've gone over door detection before. I don't need to open it up, but obviously Maggie knows about it, and I know, and some other people. You can point it at anywhere in the room, and if it sees a door or even a bookshelf that looks like a door, it'll tell you a door's there. And it'll try to determine signage, how it opens, if it's open or closed, all that stuff, and how far away it is. And the last one,
image descriptions, button,
image descriptions, is real simple. When you get something in the camera's view, it doesn't, when they say image, they just mean whatever's in the camera's view, and you put it there, and then you touch your finger onto it to force it to recognize. The image description, it'll try to figure out what's there. It'll try to do like, you have a red Solo cup in front of you, and you point your phone at it, and you hit image description. It'll try to figure out what that is. Now, I wouldn't rely on any of these detectors for any kind of serious or life-threatening or whatever thing. Don't count on it if counting on it could put you in danger. This is not an exact science by any means. This is just its best attempt at describing things, and sometimes it gets it wrong. So, any questions on detectors and magnifier? And I think if that's it, that's all I got for tonight. I don't know if anybody.
Manny,
Yeah.
I asked today, I was on the Sunvan and I asked my Siri, where am I? And she came up with East Gulf Link Road.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
It's very good, and that can be done anywhere. It'll try to figure out where you're at the best it can. It'll tell you where you're at, and yeah, that's a really good feature. I've done that many times. So I think that's it, Barbara. That's all I got for tonight.
Oh, thank you, Manny.
You're welcome. I don't know if John's coming
I
back.
am.
don't know what John is.
I've just come back and I should be unmuted, so
Oh, no problem.
I caught the last 10 minutes. Yeah, I had 2 other commitments going on. One I satisfied by using the record feature on my Victor Reader stream, and the other I attended to in person virtually.
All right.
So it's been all over the lot, but I'm gonna shut down the recording now, and usual protocols, Manny, in respect to pointing you, giving you the credentials to access it, and you can take it from there. Let me just,
All right, thank you, John, appreciate it.
yeah, hang on, yeah, let me just,
Well, Barbara, good night, and everybody else, good night. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See ya. Take care.
All right, bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Welcome, Gina.
That was way much too much. I thought he said after the-
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.